in front of me here. Oh yeah. Full bucket. I was loading in a dump truck. That pinpoint right there, you can't see it, but up here is pinpoint if I was loading a dump truck. So I gotta shake it out like that. She's gotta be all the way up. You gotta shake to see how much material we got in the bucket here. It's pretty clean. So just kind of trying to simulate what a if I was to dig out. You know, this is all sand where we're at here. Man, need some grease on her, boys. All right. So what we got here is the brand new RT75, the Max series machine. This machine, the visibility is absolutely amazing. I'll go through that here in a little bit, but this is the new machine. So this is it has 50% more glass than the last machine. A great little skid steer for grading, you know, finish grading, stuff like that. Lots of power, very quick. This is kind of one of their prototype machines, one of the first ones they did, so it might be a little bit different in some things, you know, whenever they start pumping them out here. But here's the inside. You know, all the glass. This is the view looking out of the back, the sides. It's got the it's got the touch screen display up here. Whoops, I don't know what I'm doing. But I'll leave that alone. But it's got a little bit more foot room down this way, like that. This one has a foot throttle. I didn't even notice that. You can adjust the controls back and forth, up and down. I'm pretty sure it's got this kind of lap bar as opposed to one that comes down this way. Very comfortable machine. But yeah, I mean, here's with the door closed, and just kind of looking all the way around, looking out the side. Got the mirror in the back. Pretty sure, thought it had a camera. Some of them have a camera, but I'll kind of get out and kind of show you what I was doing. I was just trying to, we're just messing around here is all we're doing, people. But I was trying to simulate, you know, if I was digging out a little crawl space or you know, a little basement or something like that. So going into, say this is a uneven lot, digging this out, piling it up. That's what I was kind of doing here. Oh, Willie's on 70. He looks like he's filling his back in. And Josh is, oh, look at him go, look at him go. Woo, easy, bad boy. So they ASV has this site, everything on one of their on some YouTube videos. You can find it fairly easily. I'm not gonna run you through the whole track. They have, you know, some uneven ground over here. They got a hill, rocks, gravel pit, mud pit, all that kind of stuff. But just yeah, I know what the ASV can do, so I really wanted to try out this machine in particular. I think it'd be a cool little machine to have maybe one day down the road. Right now, this time we're hopefully gonna be pushing more towards another 120, but if we continue with dirt work and stuff like that, maybe a smaller machine this size, a little bit cheaper. But Josh is here in the 120. We might have to swap out here. But it actually has the same undercarriage. All this is exactly the same, except the tracks are narrower on this machine as the 120. The 120 have a 20-inch wide, and I don't know the width on this. I'm not sure. It might be an 18. But yeah, we're up here in Minnesota, and apparently the Mississippi River is like right over there. Starts right over there. So all this is kind of floodplain where the river has shifted over years, and that's where all this sand and silt has come from. When I saw their video on YouTube about this, I was like, oh, that must be taken like California or something, because all the sand, I thought it was in the desert, but you're in Minnesota, who knew it? So we're having some good times here. How is she?
Pretty good. It's hard to see with these bars, but save us what we got.
Yo, 120 here. Hey girl, you look familiar. Ugh. Put it on the typical bar there. Yep. It's like old times. Get a little low on DEF fluid. Wow, that bar is annoying. See why I took mine off. To see this bucket they got on there. It's not a very long, like a long long profile bucket. No, sorry, y'all a little crooked right there. Let's try this here soon. That's just nothing but sand, but at the same time, whoop, didn't even phase her. He's doing the track again. Well, it's like, you gotta try the track. Send that. Oh my goodness. Give her a little bath. Whoops, I don't think I was supposed to do that. Oh my stars. Ah. Oh yeah, on the rocks. Oh. So bumpy. I mean, so, oh my stars. They do this 10 times a day with each, or with the machine they're testing. That would get exhausting. Oh, Josh is bailing out. He's bailing out. He's like, no. Ah. I wonder if faster is better. Oh my stars. What a terrible job. Alright, so this is supposed to simulate going up against a curb. Like right here. I'm running up against that curb. Right down here on the bottom. You can't really see it, but I'm trying to pop that track off on that curb right there.
What's up, guys? Josh here in the back in the old 120. Oh yeah. See what old John Boy's doing. Ah. Going in his huge hole he dug. RT75. She's nice. Oh yeah.
Alright, so we tried them all out. They're all a beast, of course. Of course. We're gonna do one more lap around the track. And I'm gonna follow them, and we'll do the 71st. Oh, we'll do the 70, but do the 120 first, 75, and then I'll carry up the rear. So Buck, tell us again about the track and how many times the operator.
Yeah, so what we're running right now, we got 2 shifts, 2 8-hour shifts, a morning operator and an evening operator. They'll be running a machine, and each operator during his 8-hour shift has to do 20 laps on the track. So they'll do laps on the track and then they'll mix that in with moving dirt, pushing, normal type of stuff. But yeah, it's the 20 laps that are the tough part.
How many laps did we do, guys?
I did 3.
2.
Well done.
They were terrible.
I'm backer.
But it was extremely smooth on the undercarriage, no doubt about it. Those poor guys, let me tell you, that's doesn't sound like
it's designed to beat it up. I mean, it's extreme testing. So
they have a site over here on the other side that it's all gravel, and they so many what was it, how many loads did he move a day?
So basically there's crushed rock on both sides and then concrete in between, and they're moving from one side to the other in the crushed rock, and then crushed rock poured on the slab on top. So I don't know how many trips he can get in a day, but that's all they do is run back and forth on that material, so he can get a bunch.
Oh man, that's cool stuff. About to get run over. Oh. Is that? Oh, that's the side of the cab, or they?
Yeah, that's actually the fender for a 120 there. So yeah, you're familiar with that part.
Yeah.
So we do the 120 frames here now. We, you know, we haven't always. We've had insourcing and outsourcing projects throughout the years.
Yeah.
Right now we're definitely in a strong insourcing mode, doing a lot more welding and fabrication.
Yeah.
We're doing all the frames now. You saw the cabs over there.
Yeah.
We're doing.
So like, what's all this stuff over here? Just parts?
Drive motors. What am I seeing here? Yeah, just parts. 100% sure what's in there. 2014, 184, but yeah, piece parts along this wall are also feed the assembly line, so it's additional storage.
Okay.
Heading that way.
I got you.
So you can see a little bit of the tacking going on here. He's putting the rails together and getting them into that tack fashion that we see here.
Okay.
And then they're going to go over onto the robot.
I got you.
That's doing the finish welding.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, this will be a 120 rail coming together here.
Oh, nice.
He's got it jigged, jigged and fixtured.
That is so cool. Can I go over here and look at it?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, the guy welding in the corner.
Yeah.
Have a look.
This is the rail at the bottom that holds the 120. The bogies would go on here. This will be the front axle, right?
Yep.
Front axle. This is oh, here's the grease zerk right here. That's pretty cool. Nice.
Yeah, see, just look at the amount of fixturing that happens too, you know, and sometimes people think, well, you know, maybe they got it off by a 1/4 inch. Well, I mean, it just can't even happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some of the parts for that rail there. So that would
Okay, that's the
each side, right? And then you've got the single plate that goes on the top to hold the width.
okay.
Yeah. Impacts there.
Yeah. Here's the back hoods.
Yeah, that's the hood for RT75 there.
Glad to see it's metal.
Yeah, you can see that one's the new Max series. So we've got the lights actually cut out through the plasma too, so the lights will go inside there and be naturally guarded that way.
That's pretty cool.
And they're all LED, right?
Yep, LEDs, yep. What he's basically doing there is acid bath, wash off, you know, any welding material, oils, that kind of thing. So they'll bathe them, and then once they're clean, they go through to the spray booth.
Okay.
To get, you know, sign a paint before process.
Okay.
Those 120 loader arms. Those we still source. We don't weld those here. Fargo, North Dakota, so not too far from here.
Okay.
But you can kind of tell by the jig we ship them in on.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay.
Gives them a way to get them on the semi and get them here.
Yeah.
40 chassis there, so that's our smallest chassis we do, and the 120 is the big one. So.
Okay. And the 120.
Chassis there. Just blowing it on to make sure everything is dry before it goes in the paint booth.
Okay.
Well, this is where they're welding the 120 chassis here.
Okay.
Come together.
Nice.
Like he's welding one right now.
That is so cool. That's amazing. You know what it started as?
Yeah, you start seeing these pieces.
Yep.
Had the black sheet of steel a few hours ago.
Yeah, man.
And then after they go through the paint spray booth here, they're going to go here to world's largest pizza oven.
Okay.
So essentially they'll bake it.
Yeah.
Helps get it to the hardness levels we want right away before it goes to the line. You know, a lot less damage on the line if it's still hardened.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey girl.
All the rails we've done here. This would be a 120 rail here.
So is this just like a cap?
Yep. They just basically spun it onto that stand.
Oh, I got you, to keep it in there.
Paint out of there.
I got you. Cool. Hey, we've seen those before.
Well, it's one of those things hopefully you never see again.
Yeah, for real. So far, so good.
We got you into the updated ones, I'm assuming?
Yep. So what's the purpose of this pivot, right, or that pit right there?
Well, that's actually a pre-camber process. So the axles, you know, when they sit underneath the machine, you're running rubber torsion axles and square stock steel in there. The load of the machine is out here. It's trying to compress that rubber, right?
Okay.
Which is going to put naturally some camber in it, just like when the suspension works on your car, you know, and it goes through the travel. So what we do is when they're unloaded, we actually pre-camber them so they're slightly this way.
Okay.
So when the machine weight and the forestry header on it, they sit flat.
I gotcha.
You know, the drivers try to get the flat under load.
Yep. That's rear, and this is the front axle for it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's got the extra pivot point on the front. So quality inspection here. So they're going to miscellaneously grab things to inspect. Obviously, this rack of rails are a culprit. They decided, so they can put it on the furrow head there and basically measure everything, computer document where we're at, make sure everything's within tolerance.
Nice.
Coming out how it's supposed to.
Hey, look at all these, Josh.
Nice.
It's for the squirrel's cage assembly. Oh, would that be the sleeve?
Sprocket roller, yep, tooth and sleeve. So this is the job you don't want at ASV, because you can imagine how many rollers go into a sprocket assembly and how many sprocket assemblies go out the door every day. So there's a lot of labor intensive there, slide these things all together.
Yeah, for like a day.
But you can see again all the torque arms used on these things, so when they'll assemble it, they drop it in.
Okay.
The torque arm will torque it. It's recording every torque, making sure everything goes through its proper specification.
Nice.
And then they'll start getting tagged right after that, so we can track it back. You know, she goes out the door and you call and say, hey, my sprocket rollers fell off. Then go back to the machine, see what torque value was, who did it, when, what, where.
Okay.
He's done, it's up on the bench, he'll set track tensions and it'll be complete. Then the next step is the inspector comes by and he's got to check it off, make sure it's right, sign off on it.
Okay. That's pretty cool. What's this sticker doing here?
Well, you know, we've sold a lot of undercarriages and cattle.
Yeah, that's true, that's true, yeah. Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, give you a look at kind of what's going on here.
So this is the same system that we have on ours.
It is, yep. This would be an undercarriage destined for either an RT75 or a 120.
Okay. So the 75 has the same?
Yep, same undercarriage under both units, yep.
Okay.
You know, your forestry unit, we run the 20-inch tracks on. The 75 is standard with 18s and 20s.
I got you. Wow. That's a lot.
You can see the initial assemblies of those hubs coming together. I don't know if you ever had one of those apart.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, so you're familiar with the metal face seals and things like that.
Yeah, it's very confusing if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're like, how in the world is that supposed to hold oil? But it does.
Yeah, well, two metal surfaces keeping oil in, right? It
Yeah,
make a lot of
yeah.
sense, but it's
So
it's
does
a good system, proven system.
Does he fill them here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, doing all the assembly and filling, so. little barrel there is fill oil.
Okay. So is there a, I can't remember, is there a plug on it?
There is, yep. So I think we can see it.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right, yep.
Yep.
So what he's doing right now,
Right now.
yeah, he's filling the oil. This is filled with oil inside the wheel here for this bearing. Yeah, we have like the old squeeze bottle, you know?
Yeah, you can dial it in a little closer, a little quicker, can't you?
Yeah.
These are done, inspected, ready to go. It's going to be an RT75, I believe. So, yeah, machine model. They're built for that serial number, so the undercarriages are tracked back to. Again, we know.
Okay.
What, when, and where when the serial number tag's on there. So,
yeah, it's so clean.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably won't look like that very long, right?
Let's hope not, at least. That's pretty cool.
Pretty good. Yeah, so kind of one of the things you'll see with the assembly line is little RT40 here, you know, with an RT120 right in front of it. So we got our biggest machine followed by our smallest machine on the assembly line. But as they feed through, we do what we call a water strider. They'll see you pick a cart, fill it with the parts, feed it to the assembler, right? So
okay.
When this rolls up, there'll be an engine assembly. There'll be a cart of pieces. You know, they continue to roll with it.
I got you.
The parts are built on the side of the same job. It's a serialized engine for this one. We'll follow with it. You know, that allows us to not have to have piece parts for different models sitting on the line. The cart will feed to it. The assembler can stay with the product, and you know, we can just as easily put together a big one as we can a small one. They'll go sequentially down the line. So.
Okay. Cool.
Basically, the first thing they do, I see one on a cart here, but when they're still on the spigot cart, those round carts, they'll set the axles in.
Okay.
Flip it upside down, put the axles on. They'll be the first thing to go in.
Okay.
You can see wiring harnesses, some of that stuff following, but we just feed our way down. And get a look at the undercarriage going on. I mean, one of the cool things about our design is the undercarriage is you know, whole undercarriage is a separate assembly, right? So they can wheel it over on that cart, set it on the crane, slide it on the machine. Same thing can be done from a service standpoint. You can pull
slide the whole thing off. Yep. We've done that before. Oh, got some motors here. So he'll take that motor. Does that motor go in this machine? Or?
Yeah, looks like one for 40 there. So. Yeah, same deal as I was talking about the carts, right? Pre-assembled carts are set up. Hydraulic tank, air filter, various components for it.
Okay.
They're all pre-done. Engine assembly and transmission assembly happen over here.
With colorful 3-quart mods for the front porch. Or anywhere, 2 for just $10.
Yeah, he's prepping engines right behind us.
Okay.
So they're going to do things, whether they're adding, you know, block heaters or hoses, whatever, things like that. And then he's going to feed the engine over here. He'll mate a transmission with it.
Nice. That's new.
That's a 2.8, sorry. But yeah, again, you can see there's the job card for that engine, so that's going in that machine.
That's so cool. Just ready to go. So there's a 120 right there on the line.
Yeah, and I don't know, John, versus your current machine and these new ones, what all changes your current machine had on it, but you know, kind of one of the telltale improvements we've made is down here on these drive hoses.
Okay.
On some of the previous designs, we had a plastic clamp there that went in together.
Yep.
So that's been replaced with this steel clamp, you can see. Then we got the rubber boot that fixes the hose positioning, so they can't rub on each other anywhere in that hose. And then we're using the coil wrap all the way back to the back.
Okay.
And then there's a second clamp. We didn't see it. We didn't look at it over there, but there's a second clamp right here on the drive table.
Okay.
That actually clamps them all to the drive table, so they're secured here and here.
Okay.
Via clamping, so that sticks and things can't knock anything loose or move anything around in there. So That's been a big reliability improvement for us on these things.
Do you still have to change the oil from right there?
Yeah, can you move that?
Yeah, so that's kind of always one of the questions I had on that comment from me, John, is can you get the oil filter from, there's an access plate right underneath here. Series here, so
Oh man, look at that.
that's kind of your glimpse.
I like that.
Into the new cab design.
Nice.
That's awesome.
LEDs front rear, cab's all new. Loader's been redesigned, step lowered, better sight line down the quick attach and under bucket. Lots of small improvements, hoses, routing, things like that. Did the same things with the steel clamps at the drive hoses, stuff that we did on the 120. Really pretty state-of-the-art little piece of equipment. This cab is super exciting, really nice.
How much more glass is there in this?
About 52% more
52% more glass.
area where you can see. Yep.
How come you guys use that brass?
Yep.
How come brass?
It's a lubricant, so it keeps it from rusting and sticking at that hinge. So on the 75, on your standard doors, we're still running that same 3/8 brass pin that you saw, but the forestry door, if we find one here, you'll see you actually went to a 1/2 inch pin on that.
Okay.
That door is just super heavy,
Yeah,
so you weren't the only one who
Yeah.
saw it.
Oh yeah, look at that. Nice.
The larger hinges, and then these.
I like that.
These used to be fully supported on this pivot point.
Yep.
Now this bracket actually goes in and keeps that from being able to turn, which reduces the load on it. So not only do you go a 1/2 inch pin, but you reduce the side loads on it.
Is that going to be on my new one, you think?
It will be, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's on everything now. And like I said, we've got a kit for your old one. If we want to do it, we could get you hooked up with that too. So.
Okay. Very nice. My door's a little scratched. Maybe it'd be about time to do it in. So he's checking flow here. Is that what he's doing?
The boys just went to break, but maybe after break we'll get to see them fire one up. But this would essentially be first fire station here. So they fire them up on the cart.
Okay.
And then he'll pull the cart up and actually drive them off onto these rollers.
Okay.
And once it's on these rollers, we can't hardly see it underneath here, but those are actually real small rollers there on the pins. So he can drive the tracks here. He'll heat it up by essentially closing off a lot of the airflow in the back. Drive the tracks, turn on the auxiliary flow against this flow meter, get it good and warm. We want to bring them up to operating temperature, make sure everything's working correctly. He's going to check the flows, check the pressures, all those things. He'll have the laptop hooked up. He can time the tracks. He can, get the flows dialed in, all those things.
Nice.
And essentially, when he's done, he can drive it off this rack, and it's complete. It's going to go here to what we call M9, which is assembly line final inspection. So this gentleman would charge the AC and essentially inspect the machine, make sure everything was properly assembled and completed.
Okay.
And when he's done, he's going to sign the paper, say it's assembled, it's built. And then once it's done there, it actually goes over to another station. It says final inspection, and that's the quality group. And that's kind of where we change managers, right? One guy runs the assembly group, and his job is to produce. This guy runs a quality group, and his job is to make sure it's right.
Okay.
It's quality product and each year. Not that they don't both share that job, but so when they go over here, it's a different group. They inspect them again. They're just checking these guys' work.
Yeah.
And if they check it out and everything's good to go, they'll come right here into this shipping group and wow, load them all. Truck, and head to you.
Oh, man.
All ASVs.
If they find anything wrong, they're going to tag them and bring them over here for a correction before it's shipped. So in the perfect world, there'd be nothing over here, but there's 3 in the what we call the hospital right now. So something was discovered in inspection that deemed them not pass or not shippable.
Wow. So when does it get the forestry? The bars and stuff on the back.
That's a good question. I'm actually a little surprised it's not on this one. Neither of these have it yet.
There's one by there, got it.
Oh, thank goodness. Those other little rings about rip your fingers off.
Yeah, they had the key rings on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, these were kind of part of that same revision, just a lot better little.
That's nice.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Right on.
Wash in there, so I think you appreciate that versus the old kind of rough chain that we had in there.
The chain would get stuck. It'd actually get stuck in here, stuff like that. Oh yeah.
And you have to like, you end up having to like reach down here. And
Yeah.
If that's the machine's hot, you burn the crap out of your hand. Don't know how to time machine.
Nice.
Substance like curse words.
Yep.
Little 50s. Oh man.
There's a shiny new one. there
Yeah, for sure.
somebody.
Let me know, anybody who buys this one. 2087. Where she ends up at.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool last step here we're looking at. So Marvin works over in this area. Before he loads them on the truck, they actually go into that little lighted booth, and that's his final inspection for things like paint defects, things like that. So that lighted booth can help him see a lot of things that maybe you couldn't see otherwise.
Okay. Touch her up.
Yep.
A lot of loader arms. Man, how many of those 50s you guys sell? You must sell a ton of them. Holy smokes.
Yeah, so a lot of those are probably the 40s, but the 40 is our highest volume product.
Really?
Yep. So
Okay.
Smallest
Smallest one.
one. Actually, we've got 25, it's a little smaller. 40 is kind of the same size, but a little more performance. And that's the one that is actually, as far as numbers, this is the big one.
That's crazy. So we're here in the, what would you call this? R&D?
This is the test facility here, our test shop.
Okay. And this is the new 75 Max series. They're testing the cab. So they test it about once a week. They put so many hours on it, bring in here, rain, looking for any cracks, you know, something that's going to be a potential leaking spot. But yeah.
And then back here into the dyno, so we can put the machine on there, load it, continue to run it, apply dyno load, and do a lot of our heat testing this way. So, you know, up here in Minnesota, it doesn't always get 100 plus degrees, right?
Yeah.
But we start running a machine in this building, that thing becomes a big furnace quickly. So to run on a dyno, we can actually, through the dyno, apply 100% load to the engine continuously, right? Continue to run it, allow the building temperature to come up, and our standards are a minimum of 118 degree Fahrenheit, 100% load, 100% of the time, and then it won't overheat at that. So that's the test criteria. And looks like the boys have got this one. You know, we'll do a lot of extra kind of wiring things here, different temp probes in the, you know, in the oil, in the water, in the airflow, different places to make sure everything is staying within the temps we want. But this is a big reason why we have really good cooling packages. I mean, I gotta believe you testify the same. Our machines do not overheat. We test them severely to make sure
Definitely don't.
that they're not gonna. And this is what allows us to really test that and prove that and get them to where they need to be before they get.
Nice. That is pretty cool. Guess when you have plenty of tracks and all kinds of parts, and you could just build your own track system in the ground there.
I can show you an actual run.
Okay.
I quick put this together so you guys can see it. I'm gonna start the engine. I'll show RPM and stuff. So then you can see like engine RPM. This is a really simplistic one, but like here's water in, water out to the cooler. Water or oil in, oil out to the oil cooler. So we'll sit and monitor that, like Buck said, 100% load,